Hi everyone, I thought I would come on here because I watched a video today and it really got me thinking about what is going on in this world and how to look at how we look at things differently. Our perspective is everything, and when we can step back and look at the bigger picture, it brings a whole new clarity to things and it empowers us. And so the video that I watched with my little boy, he wanted to learn how to play chess. It was a little cartoon and it was telling about how the game is set up and all the different players and all the different rules for each piece. And anyways, when he was learning how to play, I was showing him how you have to actually step back and look at the entire game in order to know your next move and where you want to go. So I want to just talk a little bit about this because I think that it can give us a new perspective and help to empower us on our own journeys, our unique paths that have been laid out before us. And I'm going to also talk about this invisible hand that is around us, each and every one of us, that is moving different pieces around, and how when we surrender into this invisible intelligence that's there to help us out, that life becomes a whole lot easier. And this is something I'm still practicing. And so, yeah, stay tuned. Alright, so I'm just going to talk as a CPS survivor, and I think that for myself, I've seen a lot of growth in my life, and I've seen where I was stuck in the pawn position for a very long time, seeing myself as a victim but not really realizing I was doing that, and really giving my power away and just being controlled. My internal condition and what was going on in my life all the way around was just outside of my own power, and I didn't even know it was going on, because that's where the indoctrination, the programming, and conditioning comes in. And so many are being used as pawns right now, or minions, and it's very disempowering. But I think right now, during this Great Awakening, as we start to see life for what it is and what is important, and I think using the analogy as chess being just like life, and how there are different players and we can get stuck in certain roles and certain places by others, and we do this when we don't remember who we are, and we believe the lies, and that we are insignificant, and that there's nothing that we can do. Now, I do believe that there is a greater intelligence out there that is there, divine love, divine light, that we are completely a part of, and that we are these infinite souls having these human experiences. And so at this time, we need to be really doing everything we can to support our bodies, support what we've been given, and use our mind as a tool when it's needed. But we don't want to be controlled by the ego. We don't want to be controlled by our body and cravings and survival mode of just looking at the very basic needs that need to be met. There's so much more to this life. And so when we step back and we see, okay, what piece am I being played in? Am I being played, or am I playing the game? Or do I want to keep playing this game, and do I want to step out and see what is beyond that, the unknown, and surrender into all that is, by following our bliss and stepping into our power? When I was looking at the different types of movements that these different pieces make, and they were only allowed to go here or there, and yeah, we were all protecting this one piece, and when that one piece, the king, right, which was, it said the weakest piece, but as soon as that piece was a checkmate and no longer there, and you took that out, then the game was over. And the queen had a lot of power and was moved around to protect the king. But I thought about this and I was like, wow, when we step into our kingship or our queenship, what are we doing to empower ourselves and to protect ourselves? Or are we relying on others to protect us? And how significant are we in the greater scheme of things? And I think that because we have these blinders on or this veil over our eyes, that we can get stuck in a place where we don't really see what is going on before us, and we get stuck in confusion and in illness or dis-ease in the body. We feel like there's nothing we can do, or we get into feelings of despair and yeah, just very low vibrations. So I think, yeah, we can step back and we can go, I'm going to observe this game. I'm going to look at all the players and all the pieces, and then be able to make my choice, because we are free will beings, and I'm going to move forward as I am prompted to do. And then at a certain point, I'm going to be taken out of this game, and I am going to go ahead and allow Source to continue to grow me, evolve me, and teach me a new way of being as I step fully into my soul and who I truly am. And I think each of us, as we do this, we're going to see the world change for the better. And I don't have everything completely figured out as to what is going on, but I do believe that there is a separation that is occurring, and some people are taking the red pill, which they're sticking their heads further in the sand, and others are taking the blue pill and beginning to do the internal work and yeah, stepping into our divinity. And each path has different levels of initiations and different obstacles, different types of experiences that are going to come. And I think that on the one path, with the red pill, it leads to a lot of pain and suffering and destruction, whereas the blue pill, it helps us to continue to grow and to challenge our old belief systems, to shut off the old and make space for the new. And really, it's like the phoenix rising out of the ashes. We are reborn into these new creations, and it is a process. But when we look at the game, which we can call life or chess, we can start to really choose more and be more empowered, because we can decide how we are going to be moving from one place to the other. Are we going to be moved around by these other people that don't have our best interest in mind, or other things, other emotions and thoughts, all these things that, are in our subconscious that aren't even ours? Or are we going to be moved by this greater intelligence, the universe, that is going to be there to help and guide us back to source and, to our highest potentials, our highest timelines? So anyways, if you guys like the game of chess, sit down and look at it in a new way, and I will leave a link in the description box if you guys want to go and look at it. They even talked about time and how there's the 2 clocks, and it teaches people about the significance and importance of using our time wisely, and just the things that, different types of concepts that were used to really explain to children what the game was about. It really just made me step back and go, wow, this is really teaching us some valuable things. And I think a lot of times we hear things and different types of messages that are out there. We hear them, but we don't fully understand and understand them. And so, yeah, slow down and take the blinders off or put them on when needed. Like I said in my one video, sometimes we need that focus, and that's when we go inside to do the internal work. But we need to take them off when it's time to look at the bigger picture. And I think that you will know when to do this. I'm learning more and more to listen to myself and that still small voice inside of me, and yeah, to be patient with myself, and like Anna Brown says, to love myself awake. I'm going to leave a link to Dr. Morse's his recent video that he did, and he was talking a lot about the different energies and relationships on this planet at this time, and what's going on with kind of, yeah, that separation that is occurring, so that you are being moved into a place that may feel very uncomfortable, and it may be really hard, and we may not be able to overstand it at this time, but it is really for our own good. And so that hand, when we surrender into the flow of life and we allow, you know, whatever it is, that the right place at the right time that we're supposed to be, allow that to unfold and take place. And then when we see doors to walk through them, I think that it's going to be pretty exciting for what is next. It's really about trusting and having faith in something that is within our hearts. You know, this is following the calling of our hearts, the beating of our hearts as one, and no longer putting our trust and our faith and our power in those that have been more moved by the darker forces on this planet and aligned with them. And we don't need to be there anymore. We don't need this game called chess. We don't need to be in it. We can move outside of it. So allow yourself to be picked up and pulled out of the chess game, and to be put into a story of your true nature and live that story out, you know, authentically. I love you guys, and yeah, have a great day, and I will talk to you later. Namaste.